Hey, I'm Marc Stevens, author of Adventures in Legal Land and Government Indicted. Want to do a quick report on some of the calls that I made today. And, of course, my website, marcstevens.net. What we like to do here on the show, the No State Project, which is live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time from the fortified compound in Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, Mesa, Arizona. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, Mesa, Arizona. And we are, of course, on the LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. And what we like to do in working towards bringing about a voluntary society, one visitor at a time, is to relentlessly attack the presumption of legitimacy that these men and women called government still enjoy. Because most people buy into the fallacy of authority, this nonsense that it's okay to lie, steal, and kill and cheat people. As long as you call yourself a government, the rules don't apply to you. Because, hey, it's not murder when it's done by a man with a badge. It's not theft if you call yourself the government. I think I have that here. Yeah, see, it's not stealing if you call yourself a government. So what we do is we confront, what I recommend people do, is confront them as members of the media and ask them questions. And it's very simple to gut their presumption of correctness. All you have to do is ask them a simple question, and they will run, which is an example. We have an example that I'm going to be presenting here in just a moment. The question is, very simply, if I did business or if I acted in the same manner as you government types by forcing people to give me money, would you consider me a criminal? Now, it's a fairly straightforward question. You would think that if these men and women, these valiant protectors of life, liberty, and property, who only have our best interest first, they are so selfless. They dedicate their lives. If that were true, you think that they would have the common decency to answer the question. They don't, because they're not benevolent protectors of life, liberty, and property. They are killers, thieves, and liars. There is no good government employee. They are all stealing. And so I went to the city of Mesa here and just picked somebody out of the blue. But it turned out that we have the public information officer, Randy Policar, and that's his phone number there. It's area code 480. And what I did was I gave him a call, and he was going to see about setting up an interview with, let's say, Dennis Kavanaugh, one of the other council members, and he did not want to answer any questions himself, and that's him. That's Randy right there, Randy Policar, and he doesn't do interviews, and he didn't want to be recorded for a broadcast, so I don't actually have his phone call to be able to present, which would have been really nice. But what I did was, well, can I ask you, since you're the public information officer, and you can see right here, he is the public information officer for the City Council of Mesa, Arizona, and he has done that since January 2002. So again, that is our friend Randy Policar, the public information officer. So I said, well, he agreed to answer a question that was not to be used for the broadcast, and you can understand why in a moment. So I said, well, Randy, if I did business in the same manner or I conducted myself the same as the government does, and I forced people to give me money, would you consider me a criminal? And very quickly he says, have a nice day, sir, and he hung up the phone, because that's what you do as a professional. It says here he has a degree in broadcast journalism from ASU. Maybe that's what they're teaching at ASU. Hey, if somebody asks you a tough question, if somebody asks you a question that requires some thought or may be embarrassing to you, the best thing to do, slam the phone down, because that'll make it go away. Well, it's not, because they have public meetings, and I may have to actually have someone, as a reporter for the No State Project, go down to one of the city council meetings here in Mesa, Arizona. So I can actually confront them directly in Tempe and in Scottsdale. Maybe these guys in Mesa, Arizona will try to answer. But, you would think that such a simple question would, they try to answer it, but no. If they were honest, if they had the moral high ground as they desperately need, then they would just answer the question. No, You would be a criminal, Mark, but not us, because we are government. We're not normal human beings like you. We are not like you. We are superhuman. The rules do not apply to us. Just say it. Be honest. But they can't be. So what do? What does someone like this do? You slam the phone down and just ignore it. Now, I sent him a follow-up email, and I'm pretty certain he's going to run interference, so we're going to have to send someone directly to a city council meeting and confront him directly, because there's no way he's going to set up an interview on the phone for me to ask those questions publicly, on the phone, and to be able to broadcast that. I doubt that he's going to run interference for his bosses, and I don't expect that I'm ever going to hear from them again, because that's what they do. They just ignore you. But we shall see. And I encourage everybody, especially if you are prepping for court, to confront people like this. Go to these council meetings in your area, or maybe pick another one since, it may be a bit dangerous, and confront people like Dennis Kavanaugh directly. If I did business in the same manner as you, and I force people to give me money, would you consider me a criminal? And watch what they do, because you're completely gutting their entire presumption of legitimacy. There's nowhere to hide. And every time you expose the gun in the room, and every single time you put them on the spot to make a moral case for what they do, they'll avoid it, they'll spin it, they'll call the police, or like Randy did, they'll just hang up the phone, because you can't expect any kind of professionalism from a group of men and women who force people to give them money. And I certainly don't like when we ask them questions about that. My name is Marc Stevens. If you disagree with anything I presented here, feel free to call into a live broadcast of the No State Project, live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. And I welcome dissent.